Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
Let's go back to Friday night. We get Quintana. We thought it was going to be Quintana last Friday morning when we were on the program. That was his first day back. It was a little TBD, to be determined at that point. And it was like, okay, it was probably going to be him. And lo and behold, they activated him. And boy, I don't think you can ask for a better first performance or debut with the new team. Going 7 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and a couple Ks, inducing a few double plays in that game. I mean, we're very familiar with Quintana going up against him as Brewers fans over the years, and we've seen these type of performances before, so it's good to actually be on this right side. I know Pat Murphy kind of talked about it too after the game. It's actually good to be on this side of one of those performances from Quintana. So, I mean, I think that just blew out the expectations out of the water for a first game. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. He threw 80 pitches too in 7 innings, just 80 pitches, 50 of them going for strikes. So I was kind of wondering if it was going to be Quintana. Okay, is it going to be 5 innings? Is he going to be on an innings count or a pitch count or anything like that because it's his first outing? But dude only threw 80 times and went through 7. So, I mean, fantastic performance from Quintana. And, odds are he's not going to have every single start's not going to be like that. But, boy, he set the bar pretty darn high. So, and it's just, as we said on Friday, too, it's kind of that first step in the process to getting a lot of these guys back in that starting rotation. It's getting closer. He was kind of like the first one, right? It's kind of like that first one. Now it's going to be Tobias Myers coming up here soon, and Brandon Woodruff, who we'll talk about in just a second. So, but fantastic performance from Jose Quintana on Friday night. And that was pretty much, the last of all the positivity from the Brewers this past week. And it looked like they were on the path to at least securing a series win with Saturday's game. But and against Corbin Burnes, their former ace, but they couldn't get the job done. I mean, they had it won. They had them beat. And when you look at these last 2 games on Saturday and Sunday, having leads against Burnes and Zach Gallen, I mean, they had plenty of opportunities to get it done. And they couldn't. They couldn't close it out. And it's frustrating. Because when you have those opportunities against a couple of really darn good pitchers, you got to close the deal. And you got to take advantage of that, and they couldn't do that. But Saturday night's game, having a 4-0 lead going into the 9th, you're thinking, got this. We got this. We're going to have a series win against the Diamondbacks. We're going to have a win against Corbin Burnes. We're going to take the first 2 and put ourselves in a position to potentially sweep this series with the Diamondbacks. But to allow 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th, incredibly frustrating, just demoralizing. And then you come back on Sunday, and you put up 2 right away in the first, thanks to Contreras with another home run. I'm going to talk about Contreras here in a second, too. So you're jumping out to an early lead, and you're kind of cruising through until you get to that 5th. And Peralta's, he's okay. He issued a few walks and such. Wild pitch allowed a run. But you put yourself in a position, you gave your pitching staff a little bit of run support right away. And pitching staff just couldn't hold down offense, couldn't get it going after that first inning. After that first inning, that was it. But to have that lead heading into the bottom of the 5th, they had their chances. They had their opportunities to at least secure a series win. and possibly maybe even sweep the Diamondbacks here and could have get it done. And it's disappointing, and it's incredibly frustrating. And now you've come back home to Milwaukee, where you're going to be going up against another pretty darn good pitcher tonight with Skubal on the mound, Tariq Skubal for the Tigers. So got him going with Alexander on the mound for the Brewers tonight. And then you got Flaherty coming on the mound for the Tigers tomorrow. So, I mean, it's going to be another tough battle for these first couple games with this Tigers series. And if the Brewers are in a similar position where they have the lead, and they have the lead later on in these games against these two starters, you better figure out a way to close it out. You got to finish these games. You can't just play 8.5 innings, 6 innings, whatever the case. You got to play a full 9 to flip and close these games out. We saw it in the Mets playoff series last year, right? It stinks. It sucks. I mentioned Contreras, though. When you look at kind of his last few games here, I mean, Contreras looks like he's starting to, after a slow start, kind of pick up to the normal Contreras that we kind of expected in his last 27 at bats. William Contreras has hit 3 home runs with 10 RBIs. He's hitting .370 with an on base of a .419, and he is slugging .778 right now. So Contreras really using this road trip to, when you factor in Colorado, the Colorado series and this Arizona series, William Contreras, after that slow start, kind of coming around now and reminding us a little bit about, oh yeah, that dude's still pretty darn good at the plate. He's still pretty darn good. So that's a positive. If we're looking at some positives take away from this road trip, you look at what Contreras has done, and it's like, okay, yep, maybe turn the corner here a little bit. You look at, Jackson Chourio. You look at his last 7 games. I know it was just like there's just 6 of them on this road trip, but for crying out loud, dude's got 4 home runs, 13 RBIs, hitting .323. .839 slugging, .313 on base. Didn't have a hit in yesterday's game. But, this kid, 5 home runs so far this season. It's just, I wonder, and I know this is going to be a, kind of a hot, I don't know if I'd call it a hot take, maybe a bold take or anything like that, but are we going to get to a point with Jackson Chourio where we're talking about what else can he do that wouldn't surprise us? Giannis territory. Not saying he's going to accomplish as the great things that Giannis has already accomplished in his career, but Giannis is at that point, and Aaron Rodgers was at that point too. But like, are we going to get to that point with these guys where it's like, are we going to get to a point with Jackson Chourio where it's like, you're not that surprised, or he still finds ways to surprise you? It sets that bar so incredibly high, so dang high that it's like if he just has a really good game and by a lot of standards is just like a fantastic game for a lot of other people. It's like, yeah, that's a typical Jackson game. Kind of like Giannis, right? Just a casual triple-double for Giannis. It's kind of casual. We've become so accustomed to it now. And I don't want to get to that point and set that bar so high for Jackson yet, just entering his second year, and he's only 21 years old. But I feel like that's the path that Chourio is on right now, is that he's going to continue to do all these great things and this fantastic stuff, that he's going to set that bar so incredibly high that we're going to be so spoiled as Brewers fans. We're going to be like, yeah, that's kind of the expectation now. Kind of the Giannis territory. Kind of the Aaron Rodgers territory for the longest time. I know that's really high praise for Chourio entering 21, and I'm not saying that he's going to be at that level in the next few years, but that's where I feel like the arrow is trending right now, where we're going to have this mindset, this belief, like, or just like, this thought that, yeah, that's typical Cheerio numbers. We're kind of used to it now. But, boy, this kid easily surpassing the expectations I initially thought of. I mean, I thought he'd be a good player, but I thought, okay, last year coming in with barely any experience at AAA, no major league level experience. It's like, okay, there might be some growing pains, especially in year one, maybe a little bit in year two. Like, dude is just blowing it out of the water right now. It is so fun to watch this guy. It's so amazing to watch this kid play. Some good news on the pitching side for some guys coming back for the Brewers, though. Let's start off with Brandon Woodruff. Brandon Woodruff over the weekend, getting a minor league start with Nashville. Pitched 3 2/3, 5 punch-outs, 5 strikeouts. So Brandon Woodruff getting his starts at Nashville for AAA. He went 66 pitches, 4 hits, a couple earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and a couple of walks. So fantastic step for Brandon Woodruff to go out there and get those 66 innings. But also, we had these spring training steps and marks for him. But now to be in an actual game in that, he's probably, I believe they said it's a 30-day rehab assignment. So I would have to imagine that he's going to do the full 30 days down in Nashville before calling him up. But just an incredible, huge step for Brandon Woodruff. And now I think we could say that countdown is on for Woodruff to return to this Brewers team. Now that he has made his first rehab start at Nashville, I think we're going to see him here pretty darn quick. Or not pretty darn quick, but probably in May. But that countdown is, in my opinion, officially on for Brandon Woodruff to be back with the Brewers here. Tobias Myers, too. He also had his second minor league rehab start yesterday. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, a strikeout, 60 pitches for Tobias Myers, too. So I feel like Tobias, again, I probably the Athletics series at some point. If I were to wager a guess, I'm going to go with that we're going to see him this weekend against the Athletics. But we had Quintana make his debut on Friday. Tobias is going to be next, I would say, within the week. And then we've got Brandon Woodruff making starts at AAA. Guys are coming back. Aaron Savali apparently, though, did suffer a setback in his rehab to come back. Yeah, he had a setback with his hamstring strain throwing this week, so that's a bummer. But I would have Nestor Cortez just had a child too, and he was already on the 15-day IL, but maybe he's going to be starting rehab assignments and such coming up here soon. So, but nonetheless, those two big ones, Woodruff and Tobias, big steps coming back here. Brewers taking on the Tigers starting tonight with Skubal. Then we've got Jack Flaherty on the mound for the Tigers tomorrow. It is going to be a very, very tough test for this Brewers offense. When you look at tonight's matchup, we've got Alexander going for the Crew in this one. When you look at the lineups and the experience and such, not a ton, obviously, when you look at it. Brewers-wise, going up against Skubal, I mean, you're talking about maybe 1 at most 3 plate appearances. So really, not a lot to write home about. I mean, you can go with Terang, who's 1 for 3. Okay? And that's about it. On the flip side, you got, and remember, too, Skubal's a left-handed pitcher, so another left-handed starting pitcher for the Brewers going up against. Alexander, also lefty on the mound, Tyler Alexander. Tigers, there's a few guys that actually have maybe a couple games worth of experience going up against Alexander. Baez has a homer against him in 3 at-bats. Then you've got Torres, who's got 7 career at-bats, including a home run, and he hits 286 against him. Banez, 5 at-bats, hitting .200 against him. So maybe a couple of guys here looks like a couple games worth of experience going up against Tyler Alexander tonight. But offense better be ready for the Brewers. Be really nice if this Brewers team could put up some big numbers early against Skubal and maybe try to get to that pen or such. But when you look at, Tariq, he started the season off 0-2, but, he started off against the Dodgers, went 5 innings, 4 earned runs, just 2 strikeouts. He followed that up with another loss against the Mariners where he went 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, but 8 strikeouts. And then he goes up against the Yankees on the 8th. Picks up his first win of the season, goes 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Offense has to be able to put up a big number against him and get this staff or get Alexander tonight some early run support. Offense has to be ready. Offense has to be on fire tonight.